false preaching.
Wake up, everybody.
False preaching.
Yeah, all the things, man.
False teaching.
You businessmen, good Lord.
Stop cheating.
Right. Wake up, everybody. It's the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother, John.
I am the one and only Mr. Edmond.
Hey, and this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, a.k.a. See That?
See That.
And we like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool. Because smart is
a new
gangsta.
Baby.
And if you don't know,
now you know.
Now you know.
Now
Nah.
you know.
Nah.
Nah. You know.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Right now.
Right now. R-A-T. Right now.
Right now. It's people that really say that. Like, yeah. And I'm people. Good morning, world. What's going on, man? Y'all tag a friend, tell a friend, let them know that we here, we live, we new and improved every day.
The spaceship is taking off.
Spaceship is taking off. What's good with you, man?
Oh man, the work has been good. Big shots out to everybody who contributing to the work.
Right.
Helping us do what it do, man. I mean, we looking to wrap this year up and run into next year.
Yeah, that's right though. Landing some planes.
Yeah, take some planes taking off.
Land some, take some off. Land some, launch some. How about that? We're gonna land planes and launch planes. So this weekend, man. Let's see.
It was an amazing weekend here in the city.
Yep. I'm trying to look and see what we got. So yeah, Afrofuturism
kickoff,
right?
Man. Big shouts out to PDAP, and the whole team. Afrofuturism kicked off down in Jay Henson Clearwater off dance studio.
Okay.
In Clearwater, it was the Soul Train.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw the video.
It was Soul
Train. The video, man. It looked real nice.
Then we was at Studio 620.
Okay.
For the art show. Beautiful art, beautiful turnout. Big shots out to the whole 620 staff.
Okay. 620 always do good though, man.
Yes,
it's always hospitable.
Beautiful, beautiful work.
Yeah.
And then we launched the mothership last night.
It was done?
Yes.
I've been watching the mothership get built.
Yes, we launched the mothership.
That's what's up.
It was a beautiful thing. Big shouts out to Urban Drinkery, man. If y'all want some coffee early this morning, go to Urban Drinkery this morning for their coffee specials, the African coffee. But Afrofuturism, it's going to be 2 more weekends. It's 3 weekends long.
Okay.
It's 2 more weekends.
So Community Tech Weekend.
Yes.
Community Tech Day, I should say.
Community Tech Day is Saturday at Childs Park. Bring your children too. It's going to be a highly technological event. Family is also welcome. So it's just not for your children.
So don't pull up and drop them off and don't just send them.
Yes, this is for the family.
Okay.
It's family. You know what I mean?
Family.
Yes. And the Tech Day, we're going to have, 3D goggles. We're going to have ChatGPT training. We're going to have, different things around 3D scans. We're bringing different things.
What time is it? Is it 1 o'clock? I want to say
2.
At 2. Okay. Now,
wonderful.
I'm happy about that. The reason I'm like, dang, because I'm doing this Black History bike tour.
Okay, good stuff.
I'll be doing that this Saturday. Me and my wife, we're gonna do it riding with Josette Green, local historian.
Good stuff.
And gonna be doing that. But also St. Pete Reed's Lit Fest, man. It was nothing short of amazing. Like the literature enthusiasts, bookworms, all of that stuff, man. And local authors were present. Raphael Robinson was there with his book.
Yes, I seen Raphael.
And it was several other, local authors who have like children's books that they put out. And, lots of free books. T Brown, shout out to the Barbershop Book Club, man. But L'Oreal, she really did her thing, man, with that St. Pete Lit Fest.
Yes. Big shout out to St. Pete Reed's. Yeah. Big shout out to Barbershop Book Club. I seen them parked in the back.
Yep.
Sideways.
Yep. For real, man. And they was on the panel, Phyllis Weekly Rise to Read. They was out there. They did a good panel discussion. So it was like Maria Scruggs, Tonio Brown. I'm trying to think of who the other 2 people was on the panel. And it's just escaping me right now. But it was good stuff, man. Schoolboy member, shout out to Schoolboy member Edmund was in the building. Helped me grow.
In the building, baby.
Helped me grow. And then I was on the panel, man, Jazz and Politics. Harmony and Discourse.
Oh yeah, down at Water.
At Water, the Warehouse Arts District Association, man. So shout out to them.
How'd that go?
It was good, man. Different audience. From what you usually expect at them gun violence prevention things.
Gun violence is sweeping the community.
It is.
It ain't just the usual suspects.
That's true.
It has grown to be a situation where all of us have to deal with it.
Yeah. And the panel, it was very well, I mean, very intentional in how they put the panel together. So they had Representative Lindsey Cross, like with that Florida State perspective. Then they had Maurice Scott, he lost his son to gun violence. Then they had me, directly impacted. We did the movement, award winning or whatever, and council member. And then we also had one of the teachers who was at one of those mass shootings at Parkland. So we had her, and then they had some researchers. So it was definitely different perspectives, and much appreciated, man. Much appreciated from them and how they did it. But yeah, and they do this series called Jazz and Politics, Harmony and Discourse. And they actually had a trumpet that was partially made from shell casings from the Parkland.
Yeah, I heard about that. And Maurice told me about that.
And they played it at the so it's like a concert afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So what they're doing like these conversations, and then after the conversation they'll do a concert. And they had Al Down in jazz ensemble, and it was nice, man. It was real nice out there. So shout out to them for that. And then also just want to give y'all a heads up, man, that November 15th is the Great American Teach-In. We did that before, right? Did we ever? I don't think we did it together.
We did the Great American Teach-In. We went to...
Was that Melrose?
Man, I done been to several schools throughout the
teaching
years.
Throughout the years.
The last one we did was at the old 16th Street, John Hopkins.
Okay.
In the auditorium. I think it was me, Qiana,
and King Ree. Yeah.
We had children, and it was a beautiful thing.
Yes, yes.
So if y'all need
Eric Jackson, good morning.
Big shouts out to 727 boys.
Story 727, man. They on the move.
Yes, the 727 team, man. Very inspiring.
So I want to give it to y'all. So the Great American Teach-In provides an opportunity for parents and members of the community to come in, speak with students, and talk about your occupation, hobbies, or information on a variety of careers. They also encourage volunteers to speak about hobbies and areas of interest and organize an activity, read a story, or teach a class. Speakers can choose the school that they want to visit and the amount of time that they wish to speak for. So you can do like 1 hour, or you can spend the entire day at the Great American Teach-In. Individuals interested in participating in the event should contact the closest neighborhood school and ask for the family and community liaison, and they'll be able to get you signed up and get you registered. But please, man, participate. Go in there and let them people know, let the children know what you're doing, how you're doing it, and you might inspire them to join you. Also, tonight is the 49th Street Business District meeting. We're having a great conversation, continuing the conversation around organizing and developing. We're gonna have Misty. I always mess her last name up. Misty B is what I've been calling her, but she's the executive director of the Skyway Marina District.
Okay,
she's gonna come in and talk about her, 10 years of experience with the Skyway Marina District, what it took to get them going, things that they've been able to do, kind of pluses and deltas, highlights and challenges. And then we're also going to bring in Beatrice Farrell, who is the former or immediate past executive director of the Deuces Live Main Street. And so you're really getting those perspectives and almost like a panel discussion. They're going to come in and talk about, what it took, what it takes, and things that we should be mindful of as we move forward with the establishment of our district. So,
man, good stuff, man. Good stuff for bringing that district, bringing it home.
Yeah, experience, man. You ain't trying to reinvent the wheel, and if you can learn from somebody else's successes and failures, they say a wise man learns from his mistakes, and a wiser man learns from others' mistakes or something like that.
No, I think a smart man learns from his mistakes, and a wise man learns from mistakes of others.
There you have it, folks. And you're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, because smart is
the new gangster.
You better know it.
I want to say big shouts out to Beatrice and her new role as the digital inclusion director.
Yeah.
We were able to bring 8 desktop computers to
8 desktop.
Yes,
I done got comfortable too. Let me move.
We were able to bring
our driver is here, y'all.
We was able to bring 8 desktop computers to the Childs Park neighborhood. Actually, Childs Park Rec Center. The computer lab. Big shouts out to Deontay, who actually working with Dell Computers, actually set up the first computer lab inside of Child's Park. And over the years, wear and tear, and just how life goes. The computers were outdated and they needed to be refreshed.
Okay.
So we got with the tech giants, Afrofuturism. Big shouts out to Jake and we just started talking about it, man. First, we started talking about the Wi-Fi accessibility. How accessible? Can't hear me. How accessible?
Oh, I can hear you.
Hey. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
That's it. That little red button.
We're talking about how accessible the Wi-Fi was.
Okay.
And how, we needed new Wi-Fi. We went to start picking surveys, doing what Child's Park Neighborhood Association does.
Talk to people.
Talk to the people.
Yeah, get out there and get
and we were able to bridge the gap of communication between the city, digital inclusion, the neighborhood. Now we got banging Wi-Fi. We looking at the network with the Wi-Fi organizations.
Is that goes on and some of those?
No, not even no.
Okay, some other ones.
Yeah, we're going straight to the source.
Okay. So the source is yet to be named.
Yes,
because they ain't
did it yet.
They ain't do their contribution.
They ain't did it yet, but we went straight to the source, and we've been talking to the source and looking to raise the Wi-Fi because we want technology in our communities. We want people to be able to access technologies and learn more from this new digital revolution.
Man, I love that. I love it. Congratulations, my brother. I appreciate you and all that you do, man.
No, it was thank you to Beatrice and
but thank you because it takes leadership to pull these things off, man, and to connect the dots.
Yeah, I appreciate
because
that.
she was over there and they was over here, but somebody had to
pull it all together.
And that's our president, Mr. President.
Yeah. So did y'all do anything with the Afro futurism?
Yes, we were hanging out the whole time.
I was in St. Augustine.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna call you and ask you about that.
Mm-hmm.
I meant to ask you how that went.
It was a nice wedding. Yeah. It was a nice wedding. It's always good when
St. Augustine, beautiful.
It is. So we stayed on the resort the whole time,
okay.
but I've been there. Yeah. So St. Augustine is very beautiful. But we went there, stayed on the resort. The wedding started at 5. It ended around 11 or so.
It was banging.
Everything was at the hotel, so
you didn't have to leave.
We didn't have to leave, but it was 3 other weddings there.
Okay,
now I'm gonna tell you. So we had our food, which was good. It's wedding food, right? Yeah. Sometimes it's a hit or miss with wedding food, right? Especially when you.
I don't think nobody did it better than Mr. Edmond though.
But I'm gonna tell you,
I love their food.
Yeah, we did. Wait, hold on. No, you know what? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, keep going.
Okay, no. We'll keep going.
Yeah.
But so we're passing. We smell something so good. It's like curry chicken. It's an Indian wedding right next door.
Okay.
Now they got a buffet.
They showing out.
And then we stopped. They was like, get the.
So they wasn't on no per plate.
When I say
they weddings ain't the same.
No, when I say they had
per plate, trying to make you pay if you ain't come.
If you don't show.
No.
You ain't show up, but you still gotta pay.
Yeah, you gotta invoice.
You get an invoice from our
somebody did that.
I know what I'm telling you.
So how do y'all feel? Do you think if somebody RSVP,
would you rather go to the wedding or pay the invoice?
Right.
I mean, no. All jokes aside, do you think it's rude for them to send out invoices to their wedding guests if they didn't show up?
Not if you done paid for it.
I won't say rude.
People paying $10,000 and more for weddings.
Yeah.
Right. So
and then you ain't show up.
That $25 matters.
Yeah.
Your $25 matter.
Usually, first of all,
I wouldn't do it though.
But usually it's more than $25. $25 people, but
because wedding dresses is different prices.
They are
like if you do it the day before, it's $25. But if you tell them it's a wedding, it's $50 just because it's a wedding.
Yeah, that same plate.
Yeah, that's what I learned just through with my daughter's process.
Mm-hmm.
Like the pictures you take, it might be $100, but because you say they wedding pictures,
they $2,000.
Yeah, just because they wedding pictures. I guess that makes a difference. So no, I'm not an invoice person. We're gonna do Would You Rather in a minute too. So you got one?
You said it like you had one.
No, because it's on the agenda.
Yeah, we got one.
Yeah.
So the monthly neighborhood association meetings, just want to let y'all know too that we're encouraging participation in your local neighborhood associations. Yes. So you can go to d7speaks.com. It has Live Oaks, Palmetto Park, and the Child's Park meeting dates, and we're working with the other neighborhoods to get there.
Okay, like Melrose,
Melrose, Perkins, and Broadwater to get their dates.
Good
Westminster Heights, and getting the other dates posted. I think Westminster might be on there. But yeah, we're just trying to make sure that D7 Speaks is that platform, man, for that transparent communication that everybody's been asking for. So we got the documents for the Raise Hinds on there. So you go to D7 Speaks. If you want to read the actual term sheets, we uploaded them on the website so that you can easily find them. I mean, they're on the city website, but sometimes you got to navigate it. So we just put it on D7
shorten the navigation.
Just kind of make it a straight shot. So make sure you do that. And then also the city of St. Peter's in search for community members to join the Community Benefits Advisory Committee, aimed at evaluating the benefits of the historic gas plant district project, which surrounds the proposed new stadium for the Tampa Bay Rays. This is a nonpartisan board. It advises city officials on the application of community benefits agreement policy to ensure the development is receiving significant public benefits, reinvesting in the community, and etc. The benefits can include affordable housing, environmental improvements, or job training. To qualify, applicants must live, work, or own a business within 1 mile of the project site near the Tropicana field. They must also confirm that they have no financial or other conflicts of interest with the project and be prepared to provide input on community benefits for the historic gas plant district redevelopment. The weekly meetings will begin in January of next year, and they're expected to come before council in the spring. Applications for this is open until November the 10th.
Okay, so you got a couple more days.
Yep.
Join the CBA, community benefits.
And you got to be a mile within the area, right?
Yeah.
So just FYI.
So you take a circle and draw it around.
So I would honestly say some of that mile radius stuff need to go for a couple other things.
It does. I mean, that's the policy. So if it was on Central, it'll be a mile within wherever the development is. Like that's the policy. The idea. So you have a standing CBAC where you got members that's there year round, and then when a project come up, you will add what they call ad hoc members, and those ad hoc members are the ones who live within a mile of the project, because the idea is that they will be the ones who will be directly impacted by it. So that Ceridian site, for example, if they were getting city subsidies, then you would put a pin right here in Ceridian, and then you would do a mile around Ceridian. So that'll take you into Childs Park. That'll take you into Twin Brooks. It'll take you into the areas that will be directly impacted by the project, along with those who are on the standing CBAC.
Childs Park not more than a mile away?
From Ceridian?
Yes.
Nope. A mile is a good, when you talk about a mile radius.
10 streets, go about 10 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Once you get to 10,
and that's coming.
Over,
and the Ceridian development is coming. So we look, I was just looking, as a matter of fact, that's on D7 Speaks too. Go to D7 Speaks and you can learn about the Ceridian development. Because that thing, it was approved by the Development Review Commission, and now it's going to eventually make its way through the council committees, and it's moving forward. So yeah.
I don't like it, but whatever.
Also, the chief equity officer. So Carl Lavender, y'all know Uncle Carl.
Carl everywhere.
Carl everywhere.
When there's a seat to be filled.
Carl is everywhere, man.
Carl is the one that takes it.
He got it.
He is the intern.
He be filled. He'll fill it. The interim. Yeah, because he was interim somewhere.
He was at the foundation.
He was there. He wasn't interim.
Yeah, he was.
He was interim.
Yeah, he was.
He
was.
Because he was
when the debacle with the Randy guy.
He'll hold it for you until you find your one.
Carl is your guy. He's your placeholder.
Hey, I want to say big shouts out to Carl, man. We got to reach out to him, because that's a very difficult job, like we were saying Friday.
Yeah.
And our people need us.
Congrats, OG Carl Lavender.
Our people need us.
Yes, they do. And we can't leave them out there. Good morning, Tweet.
People need us.
And so just for those who don't know, Mayor Ken Welch named Carl Lavender as St. Petersburg Interim Chief Equity Officer following the abrupt departure of the previous office holder, Lanice Emanuel. Lavender, who previously led nonprofit initiatives addressing community disparities related to race, retired this summer after serving 5 years at the Foundation for a Healthy St. Petersburg. His extensive experience and historical knowledge of the community make him a valuable addition. While his interim role carries the same salary as his predecessor, Lavender is not in the running for the permanent position as the city continues its search. His first day in the job will be November 14th, and he aims to steer the city towards more equitable and inclusive future. The role of the chief equity officer actually varies depending on different organizations and government entities. However, some of his responsibilities will include developing equity strategies, data analysis, policy development, training and education, community engagement, internal communication, advising leadership, monitoring progress, conflict resolution, advocacy, reporting, collaboration, and promotion of a culture of inclusion.
Oh, I thought they said promotion is higher than firing practices.
No, promoting a culture of inclusion.
No.
It is. It says researching best practices. And yeah. So shout out to Carl in the role of Chief Equity Officer. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for your service. And I want to give a shout out to Mr. Edmond because that position was created as a result of some advocacy work that you led.
Yeah, that's why I told everybody we got to talk to Carl. We got to reach out to whoever fills that position and support it.
Right.
Honestly, because we need equity here, y'all.
Right.
We need to work on some of the stuff that we got going on in the city of St. Petersburg. And the first step in that process, the equity officer helps a lot with that. So
yeah, I remember when you was like, leading that charge, man, beating the drum. So
big shouts out to Janet Michelle.
Yeah.
Because I was just following the lead of the sister and her brilliant mind.
Right.
And I kind of got wrapped up in it. And we ended up here. So yeah, it's definitely a blessing.
No, it is amazing, man. They was asking me, I was in a conversation one day last week. I stopped trying to figure out the days. It was one day.
I'm just living.
It was a day last week. And they asked me about one of the things that I was proud of on council, right? Like, in this year that I've been on council, like, what's one of the things that you're proud of? And it was the thing that came to my mind during that conversation was the $34 million for affordable housing, through the ARPA funds. And what made that, one of the things I was proud of was because when they first announced that the ARPA funds was coming, we were the ones who said
we had a target on it.
Like we was like, okay, we need to.
It was a target on that money. As soon as they said it was coming,
ideas about what to do with it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We got something coming.
And what we did was we organized and we advocated for the city to have community input sessions.
Yes.
To let the people decide what to do with their money. And at the first input session that we had, they had all of these other ideas about what to do. It's like some money going to the police, some money going to the environment, some money going here. Like building a lab,
earmarks. That's what they call it. Had the earmarks.
So they had all of their proposals, and then the people overwhelmingly was like, "Nah, we need housing. Like we need that money to go to housing."
What are y'all doing?
And housing and support services
got the bulk of the money, or a chunk, not the bulk.
No, I got the bulk. It was $34 million out of maybe like 45 or something like that.
Okay.
And so like all of the money just about, and then I think like another 8 is what went to the service hubs. That was another part of the conversation that came out because we said we needed money for affordable housing, but then we also needed to address the issues that contribute to homelessness and what caused people to be homeless. And it was access to resources, access to the information, and all of that stuff. And so the creation of those hubs is another thing. But that was
the work.
But that was a moment because we advocated for it before getting on council. And then one of the first votes that I was able to make was to approve
on that. Yeah,
was to approve that. So that was like one of the proudest moments in that first year.
That was one heck of an alley hoop.
Yeah, that was. That was amazing, man. So listen, y'all, you're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. We doing what's good. We doing community events and shout outs. So if you know something that's happening around the community, just put it in the chat. Let us know. Put the date, time, location, man, and we'll shout it out because we want people to be engaged. We want people to be involved. If you got somebody who you want to shout out that's doing the work, put it in the chat, man. Let them know that you see them. We see them and we see y'all. It's the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. We redefining what's cool and smart as the new gangster and all that good stuff. So
it surely is.
So doing things is cool. Qiana, what's the would you rather for today?
So would you rather end war or poverty?
Oh man.
I think
I can go lighter if y'all want.
That's good. I got this. I think if you end war, you will end poverty. because a lot of money being spent on wars. If you look at like the billions of dollars we're spending at these other countries and stuff like that, those dollars can go. They can pay reparations with that money. They can,
but they're not. So you got to do either one or the other.
Because
you want me
one going to happen to the other. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a domino effect. The first one I'm going to pick is to end the war.
Okay.
And then once the war ends, the money that's spent on warfare goes to the homeless.
No, the money that's spent on war, like, so they're just gonna pocket the money. Like you,
we're gonna advocate.
Ain't no savings.
No,
ain't no. It's going in their savings account.
We're going to advocate. We're gonna advocate. We're gonna put a team together. We're gonna work on that. It's gonna start out one way, but it's gonna end a different way.
Oh, okay. So you say poverty.
Yeah. Margaret
say end wars.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Where are you at? This is a hard one.
That is hard.
It is.
Because which comes first, the war or the poverty?
The chicken or the egg?
I say end war. I end the wars, man. I end the wars. Yeah. Because, I mean, yeah, you just look at what's happening with all of the war. And I've been seeing videos coming out of Gaza with,
man.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's like, we got to, come on, man. That needs to stop. So yeah, end the wars. And then I'm kind of leaning with Mr. Edmond. Those resources could be better used.
We always can say what resources can be better used for. That
Stop
doesn't mean.
Wars, though, man. Like Tupac said, you got money for wars,
but can't feed the poor. I just told you the math.
Instead of war on poverty, you got
a war on me,
so the police can bother me. Come on, man. Yeah, but no, yeah. So I'll go with end war.
Yeah.
You know what? While you talking about that short story last night, somebody like sitting down the street because you talking about feeding
short story.
Story, real quick, because so somebody sitting down the street, right? Mm-hmm. And somebody goes down there and look at them and like, yo, like what's going on? Like, cause they just sitting at the end of our block.
Oh,
like,
the police.
Okay.
No, it's a random car just sitting there.
So they're sitting in a car.
Sitting in the car, the car on, just staring at, like, just sitting there. So the person run up, like, just, hey, you need help? What you doing? They call the police on them.
They called the police on the person who was trying to help them
that lives in the neighborhood.
Oh no, because that's how undercover operations are started. And you're messing with an investigation. There is charges that follow. So be careful. Walk light.
My God, just asking somebody
like you need help. So the person.
How does that get? How is a war on drugs?
Because you talked about spending money on the police when they bothering me. That's what you did to Tupac. That's why.
I wonder how
we get distracted so easily.
I wonder how the police feel when everybody always targeting their budget and their money. That's just
let's invite the chief.
Don't say nothing.
Direct line with the chief.
Don't say nothing.
We haven't had the chief on either. Let's invite the chief of police to come in and have a conversation.
Look, these
man.
Bright ideas. We start saying, "Come on,
you
call." I mean, hey, I had no problem.
You better call.
I think.
Don't stop acting like the chief.
Listen, I think we have a world class chief of police. I've said that. So
I think it's we do.
I think we got a world class guy.
But I always gotta like big up you. Like he ain't just taking everybody call like how you taking yours.
Yeah, he do though. He do. He got to he call them.
Yeah, but
they got a line and the lady say hello, the chief of police.
And
they got a line,
and it might take them 2 weeks to get back. He gonna call you right back.
Hey, they got a Batman line. I mean, the bat line.
Mr. Edmond is the truth, y'all. That's all I'm trying to say. Mr. Edmond don't be playing, boy. He get it down. That's why we love you and what you do for our community, man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the would you rather. So would you rather
end war
or end poverty?
Yeah, we gotta stop the war.
Yeah, I say stop.
I'm gonna stop wars too, but
I say stop.
Because listen, we under pressure right now. You see all the wars and stuff going on, all the coups, and I wish I had the professor here today so we could talk about some of that stuff going on in Africa. Did y'all hear? It's like another it's another country going through what they call the coup d'etat.
Okay, well they changing the government and overthrowing it and all of that.
So a lot of people don't know. A lot of African countries are kind of like colonized by French.
Mm-hmm.
They're French colonies,
right?
And like a considerable number of these French colonies are rebelling and starting coups.
Right.
like back to back, boom, 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 boom.
Oh no, they linking up. They have an agenda and they are executing it.
I'm glad you said it.
They
hear them boys?
No, they really have an agenda.
They talking that talk I've never heard like African leaders talk kind of how they talking right now.
Okay.
By forming their own currency, by pushing out the colonizers, about like just that rhetoric that they kicking right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I can dig it.
Yeah, they say enough is enough. Like they're serious about it. They done cut off water, electricity, stop food coming in. Like they like you won't need your stuff. We don't need your stuff. Yeah. You ain't getting none of the stuff. We ain't transporting your stuff. We ain't doing nothing. Get out.
Get out. Go on now. Get
on. I told you go on.
The last time I remember hearing that kind of talk and that kind of those kind of pushes was with Muammar Gaddafi. That was another thing that he was big for people who paid attention.
Yeah.
And just
but he was kind of by himself. It wasn't like.
Well, that's what he's doing. He was bringing them together.
Yes, it wasn't like right now. It's a wave. Like I'll be looking at looking at the news over there.
Okay.
And it's really like a wave of country after country, president after president. They're going to the UN and saying it. They're having their own conferences saying it. It's like, and I don't know if it's the media just feeding me that stuff, like feed me that algorithm, but it just seemed like so much like, they done had like 4 coups in the last 2 years.
Right. And that's what Margaret said he was working on it. He built it in the grassroots. That's what Gaddafi was. It was like that underground.
I hear
and that, you know what I mean?
And now it's growing.
And now it's growing.
Yeah.
I mean, it took a hit when they killed him because he's been talking about,
forming their own money, gold back money.
Like all of that stuff. He actually did some amazing work over there. Let's see. It was another comment in here. Qiana telling the hard truth. Africa is 10 years in the making. That's what's up. So let's do this week in history right quick, like before we hit the break. And we might have to do some on the back.
And we got a guest coming in.
Okay, who we got today?
We got a guest.
Ooh, it's gonna be a surprise.
The guest is even a surprise for the host.
No, we got a guest.
Did I forget?
I can't wait.
I forgot because I don't know who it is.
I can't wait.
I'm sorry.
No.
You need your coffee. Ain't nobody got their coffee, so I just want to say this natural stimulation.
Yeah, that's right.
Natural. We on a natural.
We have no coffee today. Nobody has coffee.
But we do have a guest that's going to be a surprise for the host.
No,
right, let me do this. National Ladies Learning Code, because I thought about tweeting 22nd in Tech. So today is National Ladies Learning Code Day.
Big shots out to 22nd in Tech. If y'all don't know, go to 22nd in Tech on Facebook right now. Ladies running the world.
Real deal. And here's the thing, though. It's celebrated in Canada. It is an advocacy program. It's an advocacy program. I mean, look, these best practices. We talking about best practices and research and where it's being done.
It's in Canada.
Yeah, it's in Canada. So it's an advocacy program in Canada for women and youth to learn about coding. Canada's Learning Code Day started to promote technology in the country, especially among women and other minority groups. And National Ladies Learning Code Day aims to provide access to information and the skills required to thrive in a digital world. So shout out to them for that. Today is also Play Basketball Day. It's celebrated on November 6th. We go from learning code to playing basketball. But I guess this is the day that the sport was developed by it was James Naismith, a Massachusetts PE instructor. He devised the game as a winter recreation sport for his students, trying to figure out something that they can do while it was cold in Massachusetts. And he developed basketball. So today is National Play Basketball Day.
So it was developed in up north?
Massachusetts.
Oh, wow.
Yep. It was Massachusetts PE.
Can you play basketball?
I was playing yesterday. Oh, no. One day last week with my grandsons. That was my one a day, my exercise. I got out there.
I got a whole court at the house. Do he play basketball?
No, the kids might play basketball.
Different though.
It was the height. It was the height. She think the height. No. I got a wicked jump.
No. We got it. My grandmother, my grandparents.
Back in the day,
our grandparents put us a basketball court in the back of our yard when we were younger.
So let me run through these then, since we do have a guest, because I want to make sure that we get to some of these because these are important observances. And this is just this week in history. So you had 1865, the 13th Amendment was ratified, abolishing slavery in the U.S.
Wait a minute, hold on. You can't go past it. On this day, 1885.
1865, the 13th Amendment was ratified, abolishing slavery in the U.S., except
unless you go to prison.
And accept punishment for a crime.
So it was an executive order signed on this day.
No, the 13th Amendment was
ratified. So that was after he did the executive order, then they ratified the Constitution. Okay.
Correct. Yep. Correct.
Oh, I wonder why we don't celebrate this day, y'all.
On November 6th. Happy birthday, Keisha.
Yeah, that is, you're right.
Let's talk about this.
You do Juneteenth.
Let's talk about this.
Because I think Juneteenth was when,
the message got out.
Everybody, that was the last state that heard. Like,
when the message got out,
that it was happening. And so it was actually ratified on this date in 1865. And then in 1962, this was what I really wanted to talk about, was Reconstruction. So in 1962, Edward Brooke was elected as the first African-American to the U.S. Senate since Reconstruction, and he represented Massachusetts. So when I saw that, I'm like, okay, he was the first since Reconstruction. Who was the ones that was there before Reconstruction?
So Reconstruction was a powerful moment in Black history because so many Black leaders pulled themselves up by them bootstraps and became senators, congressmen, and whatever. And they were actually taken out by force. Them people was not just removed.
They wasn't voted out.
No, them people were just like, no, y'all can't come here no more.
And that's why I really wanted to lift this up. And again, we can park it after the break. But during Reconstruction, which roughly spanned from 1865 to 1877, several African Americans were elected to political office, including seats in state legislatures and the U.S. Congress. The achievements were made possible by the significant political changes in southern states during this period. Hiram Revels, he was the first African American to serve in the Senate. He represented Mississippi and took office in 1870. You had Blanche Bruce. He was another African American senator from Mississippi. He actually succeeded Representative Revels in 1875 to 1881. You had Robert DeLarge, Robert Elliott, and Richard Kane. These individuals served as members of the U.S. House of Representatives from South Carolina. You had Jonathan Jasper Wright. He became the first African American to hold a seat on the state Supreme Court. This was all during Reconstruction.
Yes, before modern history.
Yeah,
because they have like an asterisk.
Yes, and then you had PBS Pinchback. He served as the acting governor.
Pinchback.
He was pinching back. Like they pinched him, he pinched him back. But he served as the acting governor of Louisiana for a brief period in 1872. Like this stuff we don't really hear about. That's why I wanted to lift it up. Of course, this is redefining what's cool. Smart is the new gangster. And he definitely like that Reconstruction era is one of those eras that we don't really give enough attention to. And so definitely wanted to shout them out. But that's what was happening this day back in the 1800s. And so, we do have, it's time for us to take our break. And then after our break, we got our guest coming in. Surprise. and we're going to have a great conversation. So y'all stick around for it. We'll be right back with more of the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club on 99 Jams. The Bird.
So it has that much control.
Discover District 7, uniting communities, inspiring change. Introducing the District 7 newsletter, your go-to source for all things District 7. We're not just a newsletter, we're the heartbeat of District 7, connecting residents, business owners, and stakeholders. Our mission is to empower residents to take action, strengthen community bonds, and advocate for the improvements that matter most to us. Our newsletter is a catalyst for change, aligning with District 7's goals to empower your voice, drive impactful change, and foster transparent communication. Ready to make a difference? Join us today. Subscribe to the District 7 newsletter and be part of the change you want to see. Visit www.d7speaks.com and follow Councilmember Mohammed on social media. Our community needs you. Together, we'll shape the future of District 7.
Book of the day.
Welcome back to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
This is Qiana.
And I'm the one and only Mr. Edmond.
And this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, aka See That?
See That.
And we like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool, because
smart
is
the new
gangster.
And if you don't know,
now you know. No.
You know. I know.
And if y'all looking, we have a guest. Introduce yourself.
Hello and good morning.
Pull up.
Sorry. Oh, it's good right there.
All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Trisha Foster. I am so happy to be here. Thank you guys for having me here. Super excited to share some information with you guys this morning and just talk shop and about what's going on in the world of the Hillary Foundation and love, unity, and community. We actually are preparing for an event that's coming up on this coming Saturday. And I'm so super excited to talk about part of that event and some of the conversations that we'll be having as part of the event.
Don't do that. I'll just move closer. Okay. But what we're trying to do is not block the camera view of your face.
I see. I'm not even.
Okay. I produce on my side, y'all.
I was the filmmaker.
Okay.
And it was like a bar coming right.
All right.
But thank you so much for being here.
Thank you
for what you're doing in the community. We talked a little bit about it, before the break. Like, that's the beautiful thing about being here, y'all, is you get like the behind scenes and the previews.
Right.
And
You don't have to pull it up a little bit.
Okay, just a little bit right there. Okay, I see it.
So I'm looking at the book.
Yeah.
What's that song?
The Lineage of Grief.
The Lineage of Grief. I actually had the pleasure of co-authoring The Lineage of Grief with 9 other beautiful souls who shared their grief experience and their triumph of healing through their grief. The visionary behind this beautiful masterpiece is Agape Vision Publishing.
Okay, Agape Vision Publishing.
Yes. Clarisse and Portia Brown are the owners of the publishing company, and the visionary Portia, reached out to me. I had shared a part of my experience on Facebook on June 8th. My mom and my daughter both were born on that day. And unfortunately, I lost my daughter on the same day she was born. And so I was sharing my journey through that grief experience on Facebook. A lot of people were asking, like, well, I don't know if you had one daughter, and I, for some reason, this year was different than the other years in sharing that. I'm a very private person, but I do a lot of mentoring and coaching as part of my Permission to Heal work. And I decided to tell my story. And Portia reached out to me on Facebook after I shared my story and invited me to be a part of this project. She was interviewing a lady still at that time, and she was only looking for 10 people to join in on that project. And I made the slot. And so that's how the Lineage of Grief came about, and me being on that project.
Great. Wow.
So we saying we can turn the mic up just a little bit.
It's as far as it can go. We gotta have to
lean in it.
You're gonna have to lean in it.
All right.
Actually, that comment came in before I.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I'm late on my
Yeah. I'm working over here.
Production.
Okay. How's that, y'all? That's better.
It's you I'm more worried about than anything else.
All right, cool. Well, I'm here to listen. I'm listening.
All right.
But because you said a term, permission to heal.
Yes.
Can you say more about that?
So permission to heal for me came into play during my personal journey because I was a mother, a wife, a career woman, moving up really quickly in my industry and, doing community work, working in my church, so forth and so on. And when I lost my daughter, life kept going.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so my oldest daughter, she still needed her mom. My husband needed his wife. Right. And so, and my company, needed their, boss. Right. And so I had a lot of have to. And it didn't give me the space to heal.
Right.
So I just kept going. And I would have my private moments in the middle of the nights where, it's me and my own thoughts. Everybody's asleep. The phone is not ringing. I'm not being asked, where's this, where's that? And mommy, I'm hungry. I had my moment to grieve. And it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough. And I kept ignoring the tug and the pull of, me needing to have some time to heal. And so life kept lifing. It kept happening. And then all of a sudden there it was, some years later, and life had really tragically happened. I lost my mother after I lost my daughter. Then I lost my grandmother, and both of them. And so life kept happening, and I felt like I didn't have the time to heal. And so my body was like, okay. So I started having health issues. Your body will give a signal when it's time for you to take a break, right? And if you don't pay attention to those signals, your body will break for you, right? And so my body decided to give me some signals, right? And it began to break for me. And so in that ultimate moment, it finally broke. And I finally gave myself, I was in agreement with my body when it broke, and I gave myself permission to heal.
Yeah.
I took the involuntary time out to heal.
Yeah. No, right. I hear that. And the reason I asked about that, because I know, just operating in spaces around grief and hearing conversations, sometimes the not healing is like how, and we talk about it too, like you don't want to heal because in some ways it feels like you're doing your loved one a disservice by moving on and by getting better. Like you're supposed to stay in this state of grief all the time, or if you have a good day, it's like in some way you're being unjust to the memory of the loved one. That you had.
Right. You think that is the validation of your love if you're not having some type of pain.
Yeah. Like you gotta
be and you have to a lot of people associate that, like if I'm crying every day, then I'm honoring them.
Right.
And I mean, like even in our stories, we talked about it often, you know what I mean? And I tell people, feel every emotion, just don't stay in it.
Right.
You can't stay in the midst of the storm. You have to let it come. You gotta walk out of it. And it's gonna come back. It's gonna come and go. And with my permission to heal, it became, for me, my story was to be able to talk and minister to other people. And that's how I start to heal, is being able to help other people heal through my journey.
Right. See, grief is a lot of people see grief as a destination. It's not. Yeah. It is an experience that you travel through. Right. And so when we make grief our destination, we cry in the morning and the loss thereof. But the steps through grief is to allow yourself to feel every emotion. But like you said, don't sit in it. Don't stay in there. Acknowledge it. Feel it. And then give it permission to move through you.
Right.
All right. And so after you give yourself that permission, you begin to be able to have conversations about it, not just with your own self. Right. You begin to have conversations with your close loved ones, your friends and your family. Before you know it, you create a ministry about it.
You do.
Right. And so at the end of the day, for me, grief, I was sitting in that destination for many years, not understanding what happened. Why is it my fault? And to your point, I was, honoring my grief so much so that I would mourn it. It made me sick physically because sorrow, it takes more emotion and energy when you're sad and you're mad and all those negative feelings. Right. Well, if you allow yourself to shift it into another perspective, yes, you're honoring your loved one and shedding the tears of loss. But what if you allow them to see the joy in your life that you pursue to have after their passing?
Right.
What if that's what they need to be at peace, to be at rest, to be in solace? Right. And so that was my shift. I shift my mindset into believing that my mom would want me to. In her living, God bless her, she wanted so much for her children, so much for her community. Thus, my reason for creating the Hillary Foundation, because she did a lot of service in the community that we had no idea. She touched so many lives. At her funeral, I promise you, the city shut down. Yeah. We didn't know she knew all of these people. We didn't know that she had all of these, small experience, not small, excuse me, let me correct myself. These huge little things that she did that made a big impact.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And so in doing all of that, you know, it was like I felt like I don't want to sit in her loss. I want to celebrate in my living and how she raised me. The morals, the principles, and the values, you know, that's my experience. I can talk about my experience, but your experience may be different. When I lost my child, it was like, how do I go on? Well, I have a beautiful daughter that's still here.
Right.
Honor her through her sister, right? Love on her. Give the, you know, so there are things that you can do as part of your grief experience to help you move into your healing. And the healing continues. There is no destination specifically where at this moment in time, after you've done this many steps and that many cries, you know, I'm healed. Not so.
Yeah.
Not so.
Yeah. Yeah. And with that, like you mentioned about, you know, the process of healing, what would you say to people who may be, you know, shooting on themselves? As I like to say, like, I should have did this or I could have done that. Or, you know, people who are in that
the shoulda, woulda, coulda, get out the woods.
Yeah.
Get out of the woods.
Okay.
You would have done this and you would have done that. Don't stay there. Get out of the woods. You know, I know people say, well, I'm so sorry. You know, don't be sorry. Be better.
Yeah.
You know, don't be sorry. Be better. Yeah. You know, I wish I would. Go ahead and do it. Do that which you want to do. You should have done. You could have done. You would have done. Go ahead and do it.
Yeah. Start now.
And relieve yourself from all of that. Yeah.
Because it's like a lot of guilt that be associated.
It's a lot of guilt.
You miss over things that sometimes you really had no control over.
And that's the permission.
Yeah.
And it's God's plan.
Right.
Right. You have to remember that overall. And there's a lesson and a blessing in every situation, even if it's not for you.
Facts.
Ooh.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Lesson and a blessing in every situation.
Yeah. Even if it's not for you. That's facts.
You know?
I heard
that.
And so when you realize that, then again, it's a mindset.
You're right.
Either you gonna want to be the victim in your story, or you're gonna be the hero, or you're gonna be the one that triumphs. You determine what character you play in your story.
Right.
You know, and so you see people, you know, and some people they like to be the victim, unfortunately. You know what I mean?
Right.
They like the attention that comes from it. It's a lot of love. You know, you see the people who always arm hurt everything, you know.
Ouch.
They
feed on sympathy.
Yeah. Right. And so they need that to make them feel
to establish their existence.
Or to feel important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you determine the character that you play in your story. And once you realize that, then you move forward from there.
You can. And some people get stuck trying to figure that out. But that's what Permission to Heal is all about. It's helping you find your footing in who you are in your experience. Right. And sometimes you got to go back to some past experience, some traumas in your life to help you move forward. You got to do the groundwork. You got to dig it out to get it out.
That's
right. And you got to make sure that you're not, picking at the scab so much so that you're constantly recreating your wounds.
Because you
recreating the experience.
You really will. Absolutely. Because you want to sit there. And again, like as parents, I've said this before, as parents, you're always a parent, regardless if your child is here or not.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so you don't want to feel like you're not loving them and you're not being the best parent to them. So like we talked about, when you have a good day, it's not that you're mad that you had a good day. You're mad because I didn't think of my child at that moment.
Right.
Doing it good. So then the grief and the guilt hit you.
It's guilt.
It's guilt right there. And they'd be like, wait, hold on. You must not love them as much. You might not be a good parent. But that's not so. Hold on. My niece and nephew, listen, they just tagged, have a great day, Maddie and Lo on their way to school.
That's right. Oh, it is that time.
It is that time. People riding it, and Liam probably listening too. So shout out to y'all.
Okay.
Have a great day. Go ahead.
Those riding in your car on your way to school.
On your way to school.
We see you.
All right. But what I was saying was at the end of the day, when you are, defining your role, like you said, in your experience, you're going to play many different roles. There isn't one role that you're going to play. You're going to be the grief stricken. You're going to be the victim. You're going to be that person. You're going to be resentful. You're going to be angry. You want to have, you want to be the what am I trying to say? The vengeance. You're gonna have vengeance, right? You're gonna have all those experiences, and you're gonna play different roles in that. But at the end of the day, the core of who you are is how you show up in your healing.
This is it. The vengeance is what made me go and get therapy.
Amen. Talk
the
about
vengeance is what made me stop what I was doing and know that I needed to get somebody to help me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not an angry person, and I was angry that I was angry.
Right.
And I sat and I looked at a car, and I literally had to talk myself off the ledge of running my car into this car.
Talk about
literally, I sat there for like 10 minutes, and I looked at the car, and I literally sat there, and I ran my engine. My foot was there, and I really was finna just run my car into the car. That's how angry I was.
Yeah.
And once I talked myself off that ledge, I went through the emails of where my doctor sent me of somebody I needed to talk to and set up an appointment. And I started therapy at that point.
And in that moment, you gave yourself permission to heal. When you took that courageous step to say, this ain't even me. You know who you are at your core. And who you are at your core showed up for you that day and reminded you that you're better than that. And all of you who are experiencing those emotions of vengeance, and I want to take this, into my own hands, allow your core self to show up for you.
Yeah.
You know who you are. You know your value. You know your own worth. Yes, the life that may have been lost and the things, that were taken from you, you're angry about it. But don't let it lose you. Don't allow it to change who you are at your core, because you are creating an experience for yourself to sabotage the very thing that you have. You were born to be able to walk into your purpose. Don't allow yourself to be robbed of your purpose because of your vengeful mind and your thoughts. Get some help. And that's the other element of permission to heal. It's also bringing awareness to, where do I go to get help and resources? Now, in my personal experience, I didn't have anyone to say, hey, after, you lose your child, there is support for you. We have grief counseling and things like that. But like I was saying before we got started, there's a young lady, Mai Waller, who actually started a movement about bringing awareness to mothers who have lost their child at birth, during pregnancy or whatnot, and bringing more awareness of the support that's out there. And what Permission to Heal is going to be doing is bridging the gap, the knowledge gap of where do we go to get that type of support and help. I've had a trauma in my life. And I don't know if somebody can relate to this trauma. How can they be more relatable to my trauma to help me? So I decide there is no one.
Right.
But we got to get the message out there to let them know that there is help. And we're going to bridge that gap. A lot of employers nowadays, they offer EAP services, employee assistance programs, for free. Most of them, right?
You get so many services for free.
Right. But people don't tap into that. You're paying this as part of your benefits. Your employer may be giving it to you as part of your benefit package. Tap into it. A lot of times us in the Black community, we don't take the time off. They give bereavement time, but it's like, I got to keep working. I got to stay busy. Or I'm going to break down. I can't. Yes, you can.
Listen, we think it's a war when you be like, oh, I didn't use none of my sick time. I didn't take my vacation time.
It's a badge of honor that
take it.
Take
they
it.
Gave it to you. Use it.
There's a reason for it.
Message.
No, you really do.
I got that message.
You really do need the
message.
Because I was that one. I was that all gas, no breaks, no vacation, no days off.
I'm still that way right now.
But I'm going to tell you, you have to do it, because in any corporation, when they feel no value in you, they will let you go.
Absolutely.
Right? And it don't matter what you pour into that business. It is not your business.
That is fake.
It's somebody else's business.
That's somebody else's
their bottom line is just to get the job done. And they could care less who was doing it.
I am honored. The company that I've been working for the last couple years, I actually partner with them. They have been doing a fantastic job in supporting me and what I'm doing, right? But they also we experience experienced one of our supervisors passed away unexpectedly. And the team was crushed because she was a very, likable person. And our company went above and beyond. I have never, in my 30 some odd years of being in corporate America, have never experienced a company going above and beyond where they called in EAP services and offered it to every single one of her direct employees and anybody in the company that she may have been in contact with and, that felt her loss. Yeah. I've never experienced that. So I honor the company in doing that. But that's just one of many, that I feel like, yes, you offer it, but do you promote it?
Right.
Do you share it?
Like,
do you reach out?
Knowing that it's there is important. It's happening because if you don't know that it's there, it's just like
it's like the fine print. It's like it's there. Like, it's there. But now, if you didn't read it, they tell you.
Right. And so the element for me was that they reached out. Yeah. It wasn't that they waited for us to come to them to say, I'm grieving and I need support. Yeah. They reached out. Yeah, they know. And that's the proactive measure. Permission to heal is exercising and bringing more awareness. Myself as a mental health care advocate, I want to make sure that people understand that your employer may offer these services. Look into it, ask. I want to make sure that, people that look like me, we have a beautiful array of services that are right here in our community that's available. We have a lot of licensed mental health care providers in the area that look like me.
Right.
And a lot of times in our community, we tend to shy away from talking about our grief and struggling. We rather struggle alone because it shows our strength. But there are ways to access, services, but how do I do that without getting my pride in the way? Yeah. It's like the pride. Well, so we're going to try to reach the unreachable, the prideful people too. So that's permission to heal. Right. I don't want nobody in my business because that was me. I'm not going to lie. I like I told y'all in the very beginning, I sound like I'm not private, but I am. Yeah. Right. When I get to know you, you'll see my light. Yeah, right. Even if you don't know me, you will see my light. But I am a private person. I don't typically get out in the front of things and be the face of this and the face of that. But I have been purposed to do this, and this is the moment. And I'm doing this because I feel commissioned to.
I have a question about when you talk about the loss of a child, right? A lot of the attention and focus, as it should be, is on the mothers. But have you given any thought, or is there programs of support to fathers?
Thank you.
And relationships? Because I know that can put some strain on a relationship when you lose a child like that, and just those dynamics. Would you mind speaking to that?
Absolutely. So my husband at the time, he lost his daughter too. Right. And in his grief, he dealt with it differently. And I'm not angry with him. I was angry before, but I'm not anymore because, to your point, men handle grief differently than women, and that's a whole different dynamic of support that they need, because now I have to be a caregiver to my wife that is hurting, but I too lost a child. So there is a heavier, cross to bear, so to speak, for the man who didn't feel the child growing. They saw it. Yeah. They saw the belly grow. They may have felt the belly.
They had hopes. They had hopes. They had desires and things that they,
right.
That as a father, and somebody who's with a woman with child,
how do you support her?
Yeah.
It's hard enough sometimes to support us, after the child is born. We are so emotional. We have hormones that we're dealing with, but on top of all of that, there's a balance for the man too. So I spoke on that as part of the lineage of grief, the chapter where, don't fault the man if he does not know how to show up. Because that's not a natural instinct for anyone, really. How do I show up?
It doesn't say nobody knows how to show up.
Right. And so, but they have this natural instinct to protect and to want to show up. But sometimes men withdraw because they don't know how to show up. Right. And it may be a defense mechanism on, I'm trying to be strong, but I don't want to show her my weakness
and now. That's it. So it's the weakness.
So he steps away so he can gather himself. to be strong for her. So don't be so quick to be angry with him if he is not as consoling and supportive, because remember, he lost a child too. So I had to recognize that for him. Right. I would share some stories about how, he was chewing on some, he was eating a Snicker bar, and I'm like, really? Like, are you really going to eat a Snicker bar in front of me while I'm trying to give birth? And I was so angry with him. But at the end of the day, it was something that, he felt he needed to do. It's like these displaced emotions. I don't know what to do with them.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so at the end of the day, we had to be able to cultivate a space for him to heal.
Right.
Right. And so permission to heal, will be able to do that.
Fathers who lost children, particularly in those circumstances, again, I don't think that the consideration is there for the experience that they have to sit with and the things they go through as a part of that process as well. And that was actually on topic, but off topic with Killer Mike. He actually got a new album out, and then he's talking about, abortion and how, the mother aborted the child that without the father's permission. And so, like, again, these are conversations that I don't think we have enough of, because it's the my body, my choice things, particularly around children and infant children, are centered around mothers, as they should be. But there's also this other element of fathers and the impact that they have on a father, losing a child. And again, with the child, for me as a father, it's more about the future of your child, because you're right. Like, you want to protect your child. And so it's feeling like, what could I have done? That same type of grief, could I have, been more mindful? Could I have, like men experience that as well. Like, could I have been more supportive? Maybe if I had her to do more of this, or
less of that.
You want me to tell you?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Usually women are a little bit more vocal in the process. And then people do come to our aid. Men, because y'all are protectors and y'all supposed to be strong, it's that suck it up buttercup that we have to get away from. Like, it's okay for you to cry in front of your lady. It's okay for you to allow your lady to help you through.
Give yourself permission.
Right. And a lot of times,
give yourself permission.
My cousin lost his mom recently, and I was talking to him, and I said, allow your wife to be your wife. You know what I mean? Let her do what she's supposed to do, is to be your helpmate. Do not take this burden by yourself, because she wants to help you. Do not deny her that. And a lot of times men deny other people the access to help them because they don't want to feel weak.
They deny their feelings, so they deny the access.
Right.
So tell about the event. When is the
So the event is on this coming Saturday, November 11th at 11 o'clock. It will be at the Boyd Hill Nature Preserve, the Hammock Hall on 31st Street here.
And I see Tamika Mitchell doing what she do. She put the link for
Thank
the
you,
tickets.
Friend.
So you can get the tickets through
Eventbrite. Yes, tickets are available through Eventbrite. This is a ticketed event. We're curating a safe space, so the seats are limited. We are looking to have this this is our first launch of this program, but we're looking to do more. The frequency of that, we're still working through the details, the logistics on that, but we will be having more events curated specifically. I think you hit something really well as far as men. Women, we tend to get out here and we put together programs and whatnot, and we want y'all to come on out and support or whatnot. And y'all out there putting up the signs and everything, doing the behind the scenes work. But I want y'all to come in and have a seat and receive some of these jewels that we'll drop in.
Moving the furniture around.
Moving the furniture and everything, playing the music and whatnot. No. We want you to participate and come in and have your seat in the safe space to heal. Have that experience. I was able to, I have a beautiful team that's going to be supporting me. I have Zanita Ellison, who is of New Vision Behavioral Health. She's going to be our keynote speaker. And I have Lola B. Morgan, who is of Agreeo's Corner. She is going to be our activity coordinator. We're actually having a healing circle, and helping to cultivate some practices in your healing. So those two beautiful women are going to be a part of the event. So super excited to have them, and really, really looking forward to what they're preparing to share. Go out there, follow them. Yeah. They offer a lot of great support, life coaching, mental health services. Zanita, she actually is informed trauma counseling. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. And so I think it was important to have, their energy as part of that space, because like I said, grief is universal. Grief is not just about the loss of a loved one or a family member, right? Friend. It could be the loss of a marriage. It could be the loss of a home, the loss of a job. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're touching on each area of grief, right? And so those beautiful souls will be there to help cultivate the experience for us and really help walking us through, like, what do you do with your grief? How do you give yourself permission to heal? What does my day look like? Right. I produced this, help co-author this book, but I also have another book that's going to be coming out for pre-sale on that same day. Okay. It's called The Journey to Life, Permission to Heal. It is a 21-day journal that you'll be able to curate. Some of the activities that you'll be experiencing during the event will be actually in that journal. And it's helping you, have some mindfulness about your journey and being intentional with your choices of how you're choosing to show up in your day.
If you had to leave the people with one final thought, what would it be?
My final thought would be, don't allow your past experiences with grief to hold you hostage from your joy. Don't let your pride stand in the way of your joy. And don't let your pride stand in the way of your joy.
Wow. That's powerful.
It is.
Y'all come out to Boyd Hill this Saturday, 11 a.m. Is it 11 a.m. to?
11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay.
This coming Saturday.
Somebody who's at Domino, Florida says this Saturday event at Boyd Hill sounds amazing. Count me in.
All right. We'll see you there.
Can't wait.
All right, please go out and share the event. We do have Love Unity Community. It does have a Facebook page. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Permission to Heal. We're also on Instagram. So please follow us. We're sharing, some beautiful, encouraging messages out there, some tools that we'll be giving to you guys as part of your healing journey. So thank you.
Right. Thank you. Now, you're more than welcome to stay.
Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome. We ain't kicking you out.
All right, very.
Ask Qiana.
Spend some time.
Yeah, let's run the Ask Qiana.
Run this Ask Qiana.
Let's go. Let's go.
So Ask Qiana is a segment that's brought to you by the One Community Grocery Co-op. We want to thank them for what they do in the community to provide fresh food for our people. And you can learn more about the One Community Grocery Co-op by going to ocgc.coop. And this looks like a question that we had before, or a similar take on this Ask Qiana. But here we have it. So, Qiana, I'm caught in a tough situation with my partner. I absolutely love celebrating holidays, and it's a big part of our family traditions. However, my partner is firmly against celebrating what they refer to as pagan holidays. This has caused tension in our relationship, especially during the holiday season. How can we find a middle ground or a way to respectfully navigate our differences in holiday celebrations without causing conflicts within our family?
Okay, so this is what I'm going to first. It's the mindset, right?
Whoa.
Get
that thing out of here. Easter bunny don't lay no eggs.
When you saw a bunny lay an egg. When you see the bunny lay the egg,
then bring the Christmas tree in.
That's when I'll be there. No, honestly, you got to take away the idea of like spending all the money of it and talk about the time that you're spending with the people that you cherish the most in the world.
Okay.
The people, the connections that you're making with your family and your loved ones. If you don't celebrate the holidays, celebrate the unity of family.
Okay.
So you have to change the mindset and how you see it. Nobody's asking you to buy a gift. Yeah. If you don't celebrate the gift part of it, but I know you celebrate the family.
Right.
So celebrate the part that you do.
Yeah.
And stop putting I'm not doing this because you, and that's your ego talking, because you have made a stance and you feel like you got to stand there.
Yeah.
We're human. You can change your mind. And you can find beauty in everything. It's how you look at it. Either the glass is half full or half empty. And if you're always looking at the negative, you're going to pull out the negativity of every situation. Mm-hmm. Look at what is positive, what is bringing to, why you got
Mr. Evans' reaction. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm understand because
you not go after you. Finish. No, go. No, because I need you for this. Go.
But I'm just saying, for real, you really need to look at the positivity of it,
right?
And take away the man-made part that you don't like. You don't gotta buy the Christmas trees to still enjoy to be around your family, because if it wasn't December, if we didn't call it Christmas on December 25th, and your family say, "Let's have a cookout," you're going.
You're going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they said we're having Sunday dinner, you're going.
Yeah.
Right.
So just because it's a title on it different than the day of the week does not mean that you can't show up and enjoy and celebrate your family.
Right.
That's what I was saying.
So I got mixed feelings on this, right?
Go ahead, mixed feelings.
Because for real, when you attempting to wake up, right, and come up out of all these different holidays and different things, you do want to take your family and friends with you, right? And one of the last things you want to do is be in that space, and that Christmas tree light come on. You get what I'm saying? And that little angel above it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And because you know so much, and you know what it stands for, you know everything. And they ain't knocking the gift giving or whatever, but there's specific meanings to this stuff that we're willing to ignore for our families, or some people not. Right. Some people not willing to ignore that this pig is gonna kill me.
Yeah.
And you want to have ham today, baby? Hey, baby, we're gonna fall out.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem.
Some people gonna stand on that.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna be like either you come over here with me, or you stay over there and we ain't gonna be together.
So that's where you come in with the compromise.
This is the right.
That's where you compromise.
You can't compromise with the pagan.
No,
you're not compromising the pagan, but it's like the relationship. You have to go back to, why are you together to begin with? Yeah. See, these are the conversations you need to be having before you get together. See, you thought it was beautiful. She's beautiful. Oh, he handsome and all of this stuff. And you didn't get down to your core and who you are. If you don't know enough about yourself to select your mate, then that's your fault.
Yeah.
But you want me to go ahead.
I'll give you a perspective on that, because in the Nation of Islam, right, you have people who are together when they come. And then as you start learning, that's when you So it might not necessarily have been like we might have been doing Christmas, 3-4 years, while we was together. We got kids together. We done moved in together. We might not be married, but now I'm learning, and as I'm learning and I'm growing, I'm sharing with you, like, okay, this is what I'm learning, and I no longer want to participate in these type of activities. I hear you on compromise, but I just wanted to give you another perspective. Sometimes it doesn't happen prior to.
True.
It might be growth. It's like a growth moment. Like me and my wife, we was
personal
together
experience
since high school, so 16, 17, and now I'm 21, joining the Nation of Islam, and now we having conversations about things. And for me, what it really just boils down to is what the truth is. Like, okay, now that you know the truth, we're expressing, like, this is what the truth of the situation is. Like, this is what the meaning is behind that. And so then you find, like you said, you find that middle ground if you value if you value the relationship,
right?
Put the Christmas tree in your car.
No.
Put the Christmas tree in your car when you go to work. You can Hanukkah and Hognog, all that.
So if the relationship means something to you, you start to find the consideration, and you start to then compromise on some things, not your values, but the way that it's done. Like, that makes, you know what I mean? So like you said, that you don't eat pork. That's a lot of people who don't eat pork and they still show up to the dinner and all they do is the side.
Right.
But some people don't show up because pork is in everything.
But that's their
choice. Greens,
not necessarily, because I use turkey.
and I use turkey too.
But that's kind of a new thing.
But that is a new thing.
No meat at all.
And then you know what?
That's what I'm looking
Right. And so what you look,
it's always present.
Yeah, you gotta put the fat back. They're looking for fat.
Look, that's all they had. But you have to remember the origins of why.
Yeah.
But see, that's something that you gotta come into terms with.
But then you also gotta realize that you're on a life journey with somebody, and again, somebody had to wait for you to get where you were at.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get there overnight. So then the fact that you had to go through this journey, that you think everybody else is going to be right there with you when you're there, is not right. But there's no consideration of other people's journey. So it's the 3 C's: communicate, consideration, and commitment in any relationship.
Oh, I thought it was cuss them out.
I know what 3 C's.
Cuss them out is a sub category.
But what I want to say is, because what people feel, right, especially when you come into this knowledge and you really own it, people feel like they're trying to save their family.
Yeah.
Right. That's how I do it. That's why it ain't like no compromise. Because like, I'm trying to save you. You talking about compromise?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to save you.
Okay, so maybe compromise is a different. How about relate? Be more relatable. As far as like me and my husband, when I was, back when I was married. My husband and I, we went to church, and I love me some church. Okay. I was brought up in the church, Baptist, yes. But when I became an adult, my experience with going to church changed because I now had my own free will to believe what I wanted. I chose to believe, right? And how I express my devotion and my worship, right? So, as an adult, I chose the church. We got married, the whole 9 yards and all of that. But then after a while, some things started to change where it's like, okay, for my husband, he went about all that church all day.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna be going to church all day, every day like that.
Yeah.
We gonna have to find something else. So what I did, I created church at home.
Okay.
And so I ministered to my children at home. We had Sunday service. We had Bible school. We had all of that. I promise you my daughter will tell you that. So we had all of that at home.
Right.
But that was the compromise.
Yeah.
That was the
finding that middle ground.
The middle ground.
That was good middle ground.
And so at the end of the day, though, it was a balance for me that I could not give up my servitude to my Christianity, my religious walk, or my religious practice, right? But he had a different, thought process of that. And so at the end of the day, I had to find that common ground where, okay, so I know you believe in God. I know you believe in this and that, and you didn't want any pork. You didn't want any all of that. I won't put pork in your food. I'm gonna make sure that I don't cook it together, not in the same pot. All of that. I made the compromise because I loved him enough to respect his belief practice.
Yeah.
Right. And so at the end of the day, as time went on, I began to realize that, this walk is my personal walk, and that's his personal walk. We just had to learn how to stay in sync with each other and not be offensive to one another. Yeah. Now, the practice of you finna go to hell and all of that stuff, I don't push that on anybody like that.
I like what you said. This is something that you said that resonated. You said not be offensive to one another.
Right.
And that I think that goes back to one of them C's of consideration.
You gotta consider
because you can be so extreme that it becomes a turnoff.
Right.
As opposed to like, okay, I'm giving you this information. I'm letting you know this is where I am.
No, let me tell you why I'm pointing at Mr. Edmonds. Because Mr. Edmonds said, I'm trying to save you. You're right. That's how people mind work. Never killed me.
Listen. But it's what you...
I know, but
you think about your friends, like, I remember having friends, I was still in the streets, and then like you had a friend who joined the church.
Right.
And they got saved.
They want to save everybody off the street.
And once they get saved,
they coming for you.
Like, come on, man, you ain't saved. And it's some real, it's people who
come to Bible study with me right now.
It is a lot of people like that. But
it's just like, I ain't trying to go to hell, and I love you enough to get, like, you need to get saved. And it's like,
but you want me to tell you, usually those people are extreme, right? Those when they start out right there and get a little bit, and then they go
always the new Christian or the new Muslim or the new woke brother. You settle into your wokeness or your salvation. Or
you gotta save everybody.
You really
you start cutting yourself off of everything that you once did, and you want everybody to come over there with. But then when you realize you have to find you gotta find a balance.
You have to.
Because if you don't, what happened is that same person that was a year ago telling you to come, they right back down that corner.
But listen,
but it's harder than you ever win in their life.
I thought you were saying, Jewel.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
But at the end of the day, we all have our own personal journey. We own our own belief system. I don't care how you switch it and joke about it or whatnot. We own our own belief system as what you choose for yourself. Mm-hmm. Now you create your environment of belief. You know, we believe that if we get up on time, we're going to make it to work on time. We believe that if we, feed our children not before they go to bed, they're not going to wake up in the middle of the night and ask for something to eat. We have our own belief system that we create for ourselves, and as we do for our family, as we create it. Mm-hmm. So when we are introduced to, different practices of religion, and again, it's a practice. Mm-hmm. Religion is a practice. I believe religion is a practice, but it's your core values in who you are, and you stand on those principles of living is what allows you to have that connectivity to your soul, I believe. Yeah. And how you show up for other souls in this dimension, in this space, right? Mm-hmm. And so at the end of the day, I may have a permission to heal ministry, right? I may have where you need to get out and get you a job, go get you a good education, get you a good job, and then get married and then have your kids. And I believe that that's the order of practice. Right. But that's not how things go in this day and age, right? But that's my principle of belief. Mm-hmm. And when I impose my principles of belief on other people, it doesn't have to be harsh. I can do it just through demonstrating it through my living.
That's usually the best way.
The influence of a belief is done through your way of living. And I influence people the way I live. I choose to do certain things. Do I go out? Do I go to clubs and stuff like that? Man, you might not find me in a club not like I used to. Right. But at the end of the day, it's like there's a maturity that happens in your life when you become, aware of your own beliefs for yourself, your own belief system, and you don't impose your own belief systems on someone else because everybody not gonna feel it the same way. Right. I can hear a song. We can all hear the same song. You may have a different experience when you hear that song. You may have a different one. You may have a different, but the message of the song may be similar for us, but it may hit us differently.
Right. Yeah, you're right about that.
Right on. So that was Qiana. So I think we gave you a lot that you can chew on. Thank you for that question. How do you find middle ground? And I like what it says, respectfully navigate our differences in holiday celebrations, because that's where we at right now.
Yeah, it's like holiday.
Thanksgiving coming up, and Christmas and Kwanzaa, and like everything that goes with it. Hanukkah and everything that happens. And so, please navigate that. I also like what you said about, it wasn't really explicitly stated, but the thought that came to me was like, if you have a difference of opinion, like you don't have to be the Grinch. Like you don't have to come in and rain on everybody for parade and all of that stuff. It's a way that you can show up respectfully, appreciate the opportunity, to be with family. And then maybe pull them off to the side and have them conversations. Like you ain't got to stand up on the table and turn it over and kick over the turkey and manners matter. So.
You can pretend like it could be a game night for you. It be just a game night for you. Know what I'm saying? But what I'm telling you, it's what you put in your mind that determines how you look at it. Because again, if it was just a regular Sunday dinner, you'll show up. You're not talking about, this pagan holiday. If it was a game night, if y'all were playing games any night, I know, but if it was a regular game night, if you're gonna go and play the games. It's the title you don't like. forget what it is.
Look,
let's go home because if we gotta do that,
because you gonna get crunk and I'm gonna get crunk. I got something to say.
I got something to say.
All right, so we'll leave it at that. We have like 4 minutes. Okay. So we're gonna do our final thoughts. We'll start with you.
Final thoughts. In this season, I believe that it is important for you to determine your own value in your space. I think it's important for you to allow yourself to be able to express your feelings and feel it, and not be afraid of acknowledging your feelings. And I think it's important to make sure that, you know, extend grace to people. You know, not everybody gonna think like you and make decisions like you. So, you know, extend grace to people and allow them to be who they are, and you just focus on yourself and let everything flow in the way it needs to go.
Right.
Okay, just thank you everybody for coming. Thank you for the great message. Thank y'all everybody for watching. And bah humbug. For the holidays.
I wish I would have went before that, because I didn't follow that. I just want to thank everybody for allowing us into your homes, allowing us into your cars, you know, tuning in. We really appreciate your time, your attendance, and your attention. Go back to the beginning of this video. If you're watching the replay on Facebook, there's a lot of great information about community events, the Great American Teach-In. We have the 49th Street Business Association meeting tonight. D7speaks.com. You can learn about how to get involved with your neighborhood association. We also uploaded some information about the historic gas plant. So tap in, y'all. Get this information, y'all. You have opportunities to join, permission to heal. So y'all, you know, pull up, man, and come and get all of this good stuff that's going on in the community. Don't talk about what's not happening if you're not informed. So get the information. And if you see something that is not happening, that means it's something for you to do. So it's more that needs to be done and needs to be said. And believe it, we're good.
So, yes, what he said, what she said, and what he said, right? No. Exactly, by humbug, right? Now, be the change you want to be or see. Write down those 5 things that made you smile, giggle, appreciate life. We're at the last quarter, the tail end of the year. Let's make it count. And today I challenge you to put a smile on somebody's face. Ooh, and so there you go. I'm also gonna say stay tuned because we have Sister Hughes.
Sister Hughes is gonna put a smile on your face. So she's gonna make you lose your shoes and shout out around the house. It's total praise. And we want to thank y'all again. Thank Mr. J and the whole 99 Jams family. This has been the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
This is Qiana.
I'm the one and only Mr. Edmund.
And we out.
9 a.m. until 12 noon. Fridays, 9 to 10:30 a.m. Sundays, 7 to 9 a.m. Your radio